Bhaktaaya Namo Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guru Varam Shri Rupanuga Pravaram Brajara Sarasigam Cha Narayanam Tam Prabannam Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Prasthaya Bhutale Rupanuga Bhaktinam Cha Kripa Murti Narayanam Seva Kunja Braja Ramye Govardhana Giro Sada Radha Kundara Sananda Datta Seva Pradayakam Guru Narayanakyamtam Vande Vinoda Prashtakam Yatpada Smriti Matrana Damodara Prasidhati Vanchakalpadrupyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha Jai Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Bhaktya Vihina Parada Lakshay Kriptascha Kamavitaram Brahmadya Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurasmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Bharadram Tato Manyasti Gatividnabhati Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my sustained pranam, thousand times Shri Paramarajam Guru Para Padma Vishnu Para Sattva Shishma Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj.Bhagavad. Secondly, I offer my sustained pranam, thousand times Shri Rupananda Guru Varga. For my sustained pranam to all Sambhu Vaishnava Vaishnava. उधर जाके बजाना उधर वचने बस जा Chapter 3, Slok 41. Tasmatvam indriyanyado niyamya bharatarsava papanam prajahiyanam jnana vijnana nashanam. Therefore, O best of the descendants of Bharat, first control your senses in order to completely slay this evil karma, which is the destroyer of both Gyan, wisdom, and Vigyan, realization of me. Bhavanuvar by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. By conquering the enemy's place of shelter, the enemy is conquered. This is the strategy. It is progressively more difficult to control the senses, the mind and the intelligence, which are the seats of calm, the desire to enjoy. It is very difficult to control the senses, but they are easier to control than the mind and intelligence. Therefore, senses are hard to control, but even more than that, hard to control the mind. And even more than that, the intelligence. People have so much faith in their own intelligence. They always trust on their own in their own intellect. Because they feel that so far my intellect has brought me this far, then it will also help me in the future. Therefore, the people don't like to give up on their own understanding to accept another person's understanding. Very difficult. People like to hold on to their own. Even if Guru and Vaishnava is telling you something, then they think, oh, they're telling, but then they deliberate, try to think with their intelligence. What is he saying? How can I accept? Should I not? Is that? So much contemplation. By surrendered soul, Guru Agya Vicharaniya, anything he hears, he blindly accepts. Without question. There is no contemplation. Even if something may be intellectually wrong, No, Guru is saying, I accept that. Not everything is what we perceive or see or understand with our senses. Jiva, the conditioned soul, has 4 defects. That is Karna Brahm Pramar Vipralipsa Karna Padava Echa Dosha Mahajana Bhakti E Dosh Naha E Sama. These 4 defects. Brahm means illusion, like a mirage. You see a mirage, you think it to be true. Oh, there is water in the desert. But then you keep walking, and just when you think you're going to reach the place, then you realize that nothing is there, only sand. Seems like there is something, but it's just an illusion, optical illusion. So we are confused by these optical illusions. Brahm, Vipra, Lipsa, Brahm Pramar. Pramar means the tendency to make error, mistakes. Sometimes we're calculating something, some number we miscalculate. Or anything we're doing, we make some calculation, we make an error. Cooking, you put too much spice in something. Or anything you're doing, you measure wrong, you do wrong. Any activity we're doing, then we may make mistakes. It's our nature. We are imperfect. We are not perfect. Then Brahm Pramar Vipralipsa. Vipralipsa means a cheating tendency. When there is an opportunity to gain some edge, some benefit, then we'll consider it. Oh, if I can do this, then I'll make lots of money. People think, oh, I'll convince the government I have some disability, I am half mad, I'll get early pension, then I can live very comfortably. But they cheat themselves. Why will they take this money from the government? By cheating and stealing, then there's so much karma reaction in there. And these people, they go mad, they get diseases, and they suffer. So this cheating tendency is there. And karna padava. We have imperfect senses. Our senses are limited so many ways. We can only hear so much, see so far, taste, feel. Everything is limited in so many ways. Therefore, to enhance our senses, then scientists, they create telescope, they create the microscope, hearing aid, all these things. Even there are certain spices you put inside the food, it will give more taste. Make it taste more than normal. In the West, they ban these. They're kind of not banned, but like it's, or it is banned. I think like in America, it's MSG, Ajinomoto. You put in the chow mein. What it is, it's a very fine salt. But the salt, I'm not sure if it's natural or maybe chemically produced, but the salt is very, very fine molecularly. So what it does is that the molecular structure is very sharp. You take the salt, it cuts the taste buds on a molecular level. And when it cuts them, opens them up, so more taste can come inside the tongue. So when these fast food restaurants, the Chinese restaurants, they put in Ajinomoto and everything. You never know, Chinese food, fast food, very nice, good taste. But it's cutting it creates more, you can taste more. So, you can enhance your senses in so many ways, but in reality, they are still limited. Ultimately, how much knowledge can you acquire to these knowledge acquiring senses? Very limited. But Mahajana Vakya Edosh Nahe Sabha. These faults are not to be found in the words of the Mahajanas. They are not to be found in the pure devotees. They are beyond these 4 defects. They are never afflicted by them. They don't make mistakes. You think, oh, Guru, he knows spiritual things, but management, he has no idea. Oh, Guru is telling me something, but he knows this, but he don't know about medicine. How he know about my health? How he can help me? Better I go with these doctors. Guru can't help me. Guru is the supreme doctor, he's the supreme surgeon, heart surgeon. He will cure your soul even. He knows everything. There's no lack. Guru Vaishnava, they don't have these defects. They act like they are ordinary. They can even seem to make some mistake. But this is all to the will of the Lord. Guru is what? Sikala Gya. You know the three phases of time, past, present and future. Satya Sankalpa, anything they say, it must come true. And because they are very near and dear to the Lord. The Lord himself will break his own promise, but he will not let the word of the devotee go in vain. So the Vaishnavas, the pure Guru, they know everything. They have no defects. They don't cheat you. They never take your time, money and wealth to cheat you. They take nothing from you, but they give you everything. And even you cannot fool them also. You may come with so many scientific evidences, this and that, and you may try to prove your point. They never listen to any of these things. Because they have some manda, relationship with the Lord, they know everything as it is. They are in touch with the reality, the true reality. So, the senses are very difficult to control. But harder than that is the mind, but more than that is intelligence. But the only way we can control is that offering your senses, mind, intelligence, offer everything. The body, mind and words in Krishna's service. Don't depend on them, depend on Krishna. Be under the guidance of Guru Vaishnavas, and your mind will always be pacified, peaceful. One time I was traveling with one Vaishnava devotee. We were preaching in Chandigarh. Then there was one Guru, another institution. But he had been left the institution. But then he was giving us a ride. We saw us in the street. Then he started talking. He started criticizing Gurudev. And he said, think about it. Then the devotee who was with me, he said, oh, we don't have to think. That's our training. We don't have to think. Why? Because Guru thinks for us. And when he said that, then the sannyasi was like, oh, yes, oh, I understand, yes, good, surrender, this and that. And he stopped, he stopped his criticism. He was telling us, oh, think about what I'm saying. He said, we don't have to think. Then he realized, oh, we're not there to be pursued, persuaded. Those who think too much, then they end up thinking themselves out of the plot. They think themselves out of temple. They think too much than material things and they go to those material things. Your intelligence will come when? Krishna will give you the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenam upayanti. Tesam sattva yuktanam bhajanam pritipurvakam. Those who do bhajan, worship me with priti, love, then always connected to me. Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give them this buddhi, intelligence. That what kind of intelligence? The intelligence that they will be able to achieve me, come to me. In other words, that you develop true sambandha jnana. And then, as you begin, sambandha janiya bhajite abhimana avadura. With this sambandha, when you worship the Lord, your ego will go away. Your ego will come. Then you will progress on this path and develop this prema. So, offer your body, mind and word in Guru Seva. Surrender. Sri Bhagavan speaks this sloka beginning with the word tasma, just to explain this point. Although the mind, which is very difficult to control, runs after enjoying another's wife and wealth, you should understand what is happening. It is only the work of the senses, such as the eyes, ears and hands and legs. One should control these senses by not allowing them to pursue their respective objects. Pagmana means to give up this ferocious desire to enjoy. In this way, if a person gradually controls his senses, his mind will also become free from calm in due course of time. So if you, out of sight, out of mind, control the senses, then the mind will also come under control. This calm will come down. You're always seeing objects of desire, objects of enjoyment, then you're going to want to enjoy them. This desire, this prana will always be in your heart bubbling, boiling. Control your senses, engage in Krishna's service, hearing Harikatha, seeing Thakurji Darshan, tasting Mahaprasad. In this way, cleaning the temple, doing all these sevas, then your senses will come into control, your mind will come into control. You'll be very, very peaceful, very, very happy. Calm will not disturb you. Independent desire will not come in the heart. This is the way. Prakashika vritti. Assisted by the senses, this powerful calm uses the ropes of delusion to bind jivas who are averse to Sri Bhagavan. Therefore, it is imperative from the outset to control the senses such as the eyes. When the external senses are thus controlled, the mind, whose function is sankalpa, the determination to accept, and vikalpa, the choice to reject, will also be controlled. Sri Bhagavan also spoke thus to Uddhava. Later we will hear in the 6th chapter that how the mind is so restless. It's easier to control wind than to control the mind. Wind is blowing, it's very hard to control, right? It's not so hard as you think. Just close all the windows and doors and the wind will stop. You have controlled the wind. No more wind. So, but the mind, you lock yourself inside your room, but your mind will go all over the universe. Very hard to control. Only by some Manda relationship with Guru Maya Thakurji, when you develop this, then the mind will go think about them always. If your attachment is for Guru, your mind will go to that attachment. If your attachment is for mundane things, your mind will think about those mundane attachments. Bhagavan spoke to Uddhava, Visayandriya samyogan mana shubhayati nanyata. Shubhyati nanyata. 11th canto of Bhagavatam. The mind becomes restless only when the senses come in contact with the sense objects, otherwise not. So we're giving a very simple answer here. When your senses perceive the sense objects, your mind becomes restless to enjoy them. Out of sight, out of mind. So they say you can take even gold from a dirty place. This English saying, out of sight, out of mind, it is not from any scripture or anything. But it echoes the sentiments of what Krishna is saying here in the Gita. So, keep these things out of sight and you will not think of them. That's why the segregation of men and women are in Vedic society. Very strict. So if you keep them out of sight, out of mind, then they're out of mind, then you will not be tempted by karma. But if they're always freely associating with each other, then their senses will become uncontrolled. Asam prayunjata pranan shamyati stimitam manaha. Again, 11th canto Bhagavatam. Therefore, the mind of a person who has control over his senses becomes stable and peaceful. So if you do control your mind, your senses, then the mind will become peaceful and stable. So, this is very important. Control your senses. It will control the mind automatically. Engage your senses in Krishna's service. The mind will come under control. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, therefore, best of Bharatas, by first controlling the senses and mind, conquer this extremely formidable calm, which destroys Jnana and Vigyan, devotion to me. Destroys your knowledge and also your realization. You lose all your realization. Simple example is, you do a lot of chanting, a lot of seva, a lot of absorption, day and night in Bhagavan's Katha. And one day you decide to do some prajalpa, talking mundane things and that, then you lose all that shakti. All that power, all that realization you get, that strength, you lose it. Again you have to slowly build up your momentum, build up your positive and your spiritual strength again. That's why Raghunath Swami describes prajalpa as what? He says that in the 4th sloka of Mana Shiksha, he says that this prajalpa is like a prostitute who will plunder your wealth, steal everything, steal your spiritual wealth. So, you need to be very careful about prajalpa. Very, very dangerous. Destroying its distorted nature, lust, reinstate its own constitutional nature, prem. So, when prem manifests in the heart, then its lust is automatically destroyed. Prem in its distorted form is called lust. When it's reinstated in its pure form, it is called prem. Thus take shelter of the inherent nature of prem. The first commendable duty of a Bhakta Jiva is to follow the principles of Yukta Vairagya, genuine renunciation, and to pursue Swadharma, prescribed duties. Thus, by gradually attaining sadhan bhakti, he should perform sadhan to attain prema bhakti. Nirapeksha bhakti, unalloyed bhakti, independent of jnana, karma, or personal endeavor, is attained by my mercy, or by the mercy of my bhakta. Although it is very rare, in some cases it manifests without any cause. Slok 42. Indriyani paranyahor indriyapya param manah manasastu para buddhir buddhidya paradastu saha. The senses are said to be superior to inert matter, and the mind is superior to the senses. The intelligence is superior to the mind, and the Atma is superior even to the intelligence. This is the gradation of the gross elements, the subtle elements, all the way to the soul. The most dense and gross element is earth. When you become more subtle, then it is water, then fire, then air, then ether, that is space itself. And then you have the mind, intelligence, and false ego, the chitta and the atma. So the senses are superior to these five elements. So basically after space, then you will come to the senses. The karmendriya, the jnanendriya. Then above the senses will be the mind, intelligence, false ego. Bhavanuvad. It is impractical to try to control the mind and intelligence in the initial stages. To do so is impossible. But to explain the process, Sri Bhagavan is speaking this shloka beginning with the words Indriyani Parani. He is saying the senses are more powerful than a courageous warrior who has conquered the 10 directions. Indeed, they are superior to him, for even he cannot have control over his senses. The mind is more powerful than the senses and superior to them, for it remains active even during dreams when the senses are dissolved. So a warrior, he may be so powerful, he may conquer in all directions. But has such a warrior control his senses? Never. He's conquering everything, but he hasn't conquered himself. He's bound by so many bound and controlled by the mode of material nature, by these 6 Vedas, Jiva Veg, Vacha Veg, Manasa Krodha Veg, Jiva Veg, Udara Upasthana Veg. All these Vedas, these powerful urges and tendencies are controlling him. But the mind is even more powerful than the senses. When you are asleep, your senses are inactive. You're not seeing, you're not hearing, you're not tasting, you're not feeling anything. In an unconscious way, you are feeling in all these things, but not directly. But still your mind is very active. You're dreaming of so many things. Intelligence which is endowed with realization is still more powerful than and superior to the mind. Because resolute intelligence remains active even during deep sleep, when the mind is dissolved. In other words, when you offer your mind, your heart and everything to Krishna, you completely surrender. You have this fixed intelligence. Then what happens is that even when you sleep, then before you go to sleep, you're offering your pranam to Gurudev, to Vaishnava, you're remembering Thakurji, you're chanting the holy names, and you're thinking about your Guru Seva, everything. You're in direct connection and related to them. Then even when you sleep, then your intelligence and your consciousness is on that level working. Then you'll dream about spiritual things. And you'll be in control. And if some unwanted elements come, then your intelligence will be active. Like if any ghost comes in the form of any Rakshasi or anything, then your intelligence will tell you stop and save you from that condition. So the intelligence is still active. Even though your senses are asleep and your mind may be moving here and there, but the intelligence is always guarded, it's always looking after you. And if that intelligence is offered to Krishna, then it will always be favorable in a devotional way. In a mundane way, even the intelligence will help people. Like, for instance, soldiers, they may be sleeping at night, but someone may be, they're worried that someone may attack them. Then they may be sleeping, but a very light sleep. They never allow themselves to go into deep sleep. The intelligence is always active. Intelligence will not let them fall asleep. Maybe very light sleep. There's the slightest sound and they immediately wake up. Or like this, the intelligence is working in so many levels. The intelligence is superior to the mind. And sometimes the Paramatma will also give intelligence, inspiration. People, they may mistake this inspiration as their intelligence, but really Paramatma also would encourage them. Paramatma is neutral. Depending on your desire, he will also inspire you. Sometimes, if there's some danger, then the Paramatma will inspire that person. Don't go there, or leave now from this place. And they're able to save themselves from that danger. Intelligence is superior to the mind. But over and above this, the Atma is more powerful than the intelligence and superior to it. For it continues to exist even when the intelligence is destroyed. It is this glorious soul alone that can conquer calm. Even your intelligence may be destroyed, your subtle body may be destroyed, but the Atma still exists. The Atma has its own intelligence. And it's guided by, ultimately, the Paramatma. The Atma doesn't have eternal relationship with Paramatma, but with Bhagavan. And the Atma is always seeking and searching Bhagavan out. All the elements, they seek themselves. They seek each other. Fire, if you like fire, fire rages, it goes up towards the sun. Water always flows downwards towards water. This body, you give it this body, it will enter and go back into the earth. Earth merges with the earth. This way the elements there. Air mixes with air. The elements are always attracting each other. It's called the law of attraction. And therefore, Bhagavan has created this universe in such a way. And therefore, the Atma spirit is always attracted by spirit. Wherever there is spirit, the Atma is going there. Looking for that spirit. Therefore, people are attracted to each other. Why? Because inside the body there is another Atma. The spirit is attracted. The spirit is seeking out spirit. But they are not connected to Bhagavan, so then they are attracted to other jivas. And then when that jiva expresses desire, expresses calm, and they become attracted to that, then this is the rule. People, they say the law of gravity, but there's more of a law of attraction. Gravity is just a theoretical concept, but it hasn't never actually been proven to be true. It's just a theory. It's taught as a fact, but it's actually just a theory. They're using theories to try to explain the world, but they don't know really what is the real cause for everything why it's happening in the world. They're actually theoretical concepts only. But they become like a household word, therefore people accept them as fact. Like Darwin's evolution theory. They won't teach you that it's a theory. They'll teach you that, now we're learning about evolution. They'll teach you Darwin's evolution as if it's a fact. But they won't emphasize on the fact that it's a theory only, unproven theory. Darwin himself even said, when I study the eye, then all my theory, everything loses all credibility. Because the eye is so complex, it has so many layers and has so much complexity, it's impossible that it will develop in a functional way, slowly, and develop into the eye. Every single component of the eye is essential for it to function. So it's impossible that it would gradually evolve into the state it is. So he himself has mentioned this. If you want to really get to the bottom of that, Maharaj wrote a book, Smashing This Down with Evolution Theory. There in that book he said that the chance that Darwin's evolution theory is true is like if you take a man, you blindfold him with a blindfold, and you give him a laser in his hand. and you spin him around, and then you put a target on the moon. Every time, 1,000 times, he hits that target bullseye every time. That is chance that Darwin evolution theory is true. And he printed the number. It's like we get 1 or 2 pages of just 1 and 0, 1 and plus 0. It's an astronomical number. It's impossible. And then he gave some other examples there. Said like the cell, the most simple cell in the body is more complex than the most complex city on earth we have. And your body has millions and billions of these cells in the body. And that's just the simplest one. What to speak of all the very complex cells. So if you think about a very complex city, all the sewage systems, all the electricity, the light, all the maintenance, all the different departments, it is unbelievably complex and so much, like you can imagine this temple, how much complexity is here, management is here, how to make everything, so many departments, cooking department, Pujari is doing cleaning department, now Keshav is doing, so many people involved in everything. This is just a small thing. It's not a small thing with this Bhagavan Seva, it's a great thing, but in terms of from external point of view, it's not that much management, but compared to a city, it is not that much. But the whole city, how much technical? That is nothing compared to all the functions that take place even on the simplest molecule level in the body. So these theories, they're taught by atheists as if they are real, but in reality they've never been proven at all. So, the Jivatma, even after all these things, your mind, intelligence, senses, everything is destroyed, the Atma is still functioning. The Atma is experiencing everything. So this you should have no doubt. Buddha is Prakashika Vritti. In Shruti, it is also stated, Indriyabhya parahi arthabhyascha parangmana manasastu para buddhir buddhir atma mahan para. Katha Upanishad. Certainly reason is superior to the senses and mind is higher than reason. Higher than the mind is intelligence and the great one, the Atma soul, is highest of all. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, I am explaining the gradation to you in brief. Your real identity is that you are a jiva. You have a constitutional function of rendering loving service to me. But you have accidentally become bound by inert matter. That you now identify yourself with the senses, mind and intelligence. This is delusion. And it is created by ignorance. The senses are superior and more subtle than inert objects. Superior and more subtle than the senses is the mind. The intelligence is superior to and more subtle than the mind and the Atma. And more subtle than the mind and the Atma, which is the Jiva, is superior to even the intelligence. So this is the gradation. Atma, then intelligence, and the mind and the senses. This is how it works. So here, Slok 43, Evam Buddhe Param Buddha Samstha Atmanam Atmanam Jai Shatrum Mahabaho Kama Rupam Durasadam. O Mahabaho, in this way, knowing the Jivatma to be superior to the intelligence, control the mind with the pure intelligence that is related to the true self, and destroy this insatiable enemy in the form of Kama, the desire to enjoy. In other words, offer your Atma in Krishna's service. Then Sat Buddhi, pure intelligence, will awaken. With that Sat Buddhi, then you can be able to act in such a way that you will subdue and control this Kama. In other words, your desire, your Kama, you will offer it into the service of the Lord, and then this Kama will die down. And only Bhakti, Prem will manifest. This Sat Buddhi will be given to you. How? By association, Sadhu Sangha. They are Sat. Therefore it's called Sat Sangha. From Sat Sangha comes this Sat Buddhi. Otherwise it's not possible. You try to understand Veda's instructions, everything yourself, you will only come to some bogus conclusion. So many people, they study scriptures, but what do they get out of the scriptures? They are independent as anything, and they act and they do so many nonsense activities. Speculative, start their own upper sampradaya, this, that. And they become a disturbance to society. Therefore, Sadhu Sangha is must. Without Sadhu Sangha, there is no question of bhakti manifesting in the heart. Bhavanuva. Sri Bhagavan is concluding this chapter with this shloka beginning with Evam. Knowing the jiva to be superior to the intelligence and distinct from all mundane designations, and making the Atma steady with the Atma himself, to destroy this calm which is very difficult to conquer. In this chapter, the sadhana of Nishkam Karma Yoga and the merits of Gyan, which is its aim, have been described. Thus ends the Bhavanuvad of the Sarartha Varishnitika by Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, in the third chapter of Srimad-Bhagavad Gita, which gives pleasure to the Bhaktas and is accepted by all sentient persons. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Tika is the Sarartha Varishni. The Bhavanuvad is Gurudev's translation of that Tika from Sanskrit into Hindi. But Sanskrit is so interpretable in so many different ways. Therefore, the Acharya, when he translates, he has realized in the knowledge, he has understood the knowledge, and therefore with his own words, not with his own words, but he translates in such a way that the mood of Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is manifest. Therefore it's called Bhavanuvad. That translation which brings out the bhav, or the true mood or intention of Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur. So therefore to read a Bhavanuvad is superior to reading directly the Sarartha Varishnitika. Because Jaha Bhagavata Para Vaishnava Rasthana. Should hear Bhagavatam from the Vaishnava. And this Bhavanuvad is not different from the Sarartha Varishnitika. It is not different. It is the true meaning, the true explanation of the Sarartha Varishnitika. This is in Gurudev, all his books, he gives this Bhavanuvad. He takes he reads it, he translates it, but in such a way that you can understand the meaning. And that's what an expert translator will do. Because language is always different. Not every language can convey another language. Like in Sanskrit we say prema. Okay, so you can translate that as love in English. Okay, then when prem develops into sneha, then how are you going to translate that? Okay, affectionate love, now two words are being used. But even that is not accurate. Sneha, for that, Guru Goswami has given a whole definition of what is sneha. He defines it. Okay, just say you get away with translating sneha as affection and love. Okay, prem, sneha, pranay, then how are you going to translate pranay? You already used the word love, affection, and now what are you going to use? In which they don't have many more words. So then you can say maybe like intimate affection and love. Then the question will be then prem is not intimate. Why here using the word intimate? That means prem is not intimate, sneha is not intimate. So then there are so many complications with the language. Language is not sufficient. Therefore the Bhavanuvad is necessary. Someone who understands what is being said, then through taking the meaning, then he manifests that through the language. And if it's necessary, he will add some word to help you truly understand. But always remaining loyal and to the point of the tattva and the mood of the original translator. Therefore, anugati is necessary. Then, pranay, man, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav, rudra, arirudra, moda, mohan, madan, all these different terms of prem, then how are you going to translate that in English? Impossible. There's no language that will describe prema. Therefore, to help understand what is prema, Vishwanath Chakravarti wrote a whole book called Prem Sankur. Radharani herself is teaching Krishna, explaining to Krishna who is coming in disguise as the Devadasi. What is this prem? Krishna is testing Radhika. This Krishna is such a nonsense, this, that. This is speaking something, like questioning, making Radhika, trying to make Radhika doubt herself. Every time Radhika, her prem never shakes even one point. She always correcting his Devadasi, Krishna. And no, don't say like that. Krishna is not like that. And then she reveals Krishna's true intentions, everything. That's why the Vaishnava said, Gurudev used to say, if you can realize just 2 syllables of the Vedas, you will attain all perfection. What are those 2 syllables? Prema. You realize these 2 syllables, then you will attain all perfection. Therefore, Mahakrishna himself, unable to understand these 2 syllables, Prema, understand Radhika's prema, and he had to come as Sachinandan Giridhari, perform so much sadhana. Day and night weeping in the Gambhira, in the association of Rayananda and Sarvadhamajana Goswami. Trying to shake the drop, realize something of this Braj prema, Radhika's prema. Therefore, by hearing the Bhavanuvar, the Prakashika Vritti of Srila Gurudev, then we are able to something may hopefully stick. We may realize something. We say something will stick is like when Narahari Seva Vigraha, he got so sick, he was dysentery. Even drinking water he was passing. He got into this condition. He couldn't digest and keep anything. He became very thin. And then finally they got one doctor, he said, give him 1 spoon of ghee every day. And they said, doctor, he cannot digest water, now you give him ghee. Ghee is the heaviest thing. And all food stuff, ghee is the most condensed. You take milk, turn that into butter, they take the essence of butter, it is ghee. It's so heavy. So no, you're giving this thing. Why? He said, because his intestine has become unable to absorb anything. But this ghee will lubricate the intestine, make it sticky. Then slowly it will be able to again start to absorb. He's lacking this lubricant in his body. And by taking this 1 spoon of ghee every day, then he's able to digest it, became healthy again. Sometimes some things in the body, they become aggravated by something. And just a very simple cure can cure that. I have experienced myself. One time I was supposed to go catch a flight. I was going to travel with Bhakti with Sridhar Maharaj. His first Datani name was Rasanandapur. First time he was going to the West. We were going to meet Sridhar Maharaj and Sajjan Maharaj, 3 of us. Going to Mauritius. Gurudev was going to go to Mauritius. They wanted him to go there. Sajjan Maharaj is preaching there. So I was in Bangalore. I was supposed to catch a flight that morning. That morning early after Mangalarti, I got very bad dysentery. I think so much, vomiting. Even I'm taking and drinking water, that's not able to hold it in my body. I thought, oh, definitely I have to cancel this flight. Then there was one devotee, Brahmachari was there, he's from South India, he said, no. And mixed some sugar and water and heated, made it into sugar syrup. And he took some yogurt and he blended a little bit, made thin. And then every minute he would give me 1 spoon of this sugar syrup, 1 spoon of his yogurt. By doing this, it cooled my stomach and settled it. And the sugar gave me energy. And by that energy, my body was able to fight, and repair itself. And within like half an hour, 1 hour, I felt normal again. No vomiting, and I had energy. Then I took the flight and I came to Delhi. Such a small little thing, but it changed everything. So the stomach is like that, very delicate. And the different prans in the body, there are different prans there for different things. If they get out of balance, then you start hiccuping, yawning, burping. So many imbalances may take place, and they can create problems. The solar plexus. Western medicine don't know about the solar plexus, but there's a thing which is called the solar plexus. And if it gets out of alignment, it's supposed to be right in the center of the navel. If it gets up, down, left, right, it can create some disturbance in the body. There are certain techniques you do to align the solar plexus and your health stays right. True. There are so many things. Therefore, Anugatya is very, very necessary. Being under Anugatya, Guru Vaishnava, they will guide us, they will help us. Help us understand what is the true purport of the scriptures. And they will bring everything into light. Here, Prakashika Vritti. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Sri Krishna as saying, in this way, with the help of transcendental knowledge of the Jivatma, know yourself to be Aprakita Tattva, superior to all mundane identification with the senses, body, mind, and intelligence, and also my eternal servant. So you are what? You are my eternal servant. You are above all these things, superior to senses, body, mind, and intelligence. Thus become steady by the grace of my Chit Shakti, and destroy this formidable calm by following the gradual steps of devotional practice. And by the mercy of Bhagavan Chit Shakti, his Kripa Shakti, one can then conquer this formidable calm, this enemy which cannot be conquered. Very difficult. But by Bhagavan's Bhakti, this enemy will be destroyed. Thus ends the Sarartha Varsini Prakashika Vritti by Srila Bhakti Narayan Goswami Maharaj in the 3rd chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Tomorrow we hear chapter 4, that is Gyan Yoga, Yoga through transcendental knowledge. Gaur Pramananda Hari Hari Bo Jai Shri Guru Padma Ki Jai Guru Parampara Ki Jai Satchinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai Saparshada Gaur Hari Ki Jai वृंदावन धाम की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, संकीर्तन कारी भक्त बिंद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव बिंद की जय, सामगत भक्त बिंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंद।